Today we are going to deduce the differential equation of damped harmonic motion and its solution. So we are familiar about damped harmonic motion. What is damping? In an oscillating body, when we release the body from the extreme position, this goes to the next extreme and comes back to the initial position. Then it oscillates, and when time increases, this amplitude decreases with time, and finally body comes back to this initial position or the equilibrium position. This is called damping. Okay, so when time increases, amplitude decreases. What's the reason for this decreasing of amplitude? Here air resistance is there. So due to the presence of air resistance, amplitude decreases. This air resistance is like frictional force. It opposes the motion. So due to the presence of air resistance, amplitude decreases, and when time increases, body comes back to equilibrium position. That is called damping. So from here we can observe the amplitude is not constant and it is decreasing with the time. So we have to generalize these two conditions from the differential equation of damped harmonic motion, or we have to represent this motion mathematically. So under equilibrium condition, we know the condition for simple harmonic motion. The condition for simple harmonic motion is force is equal to minus kx. Okay. So F is equal to minus kx is the condition for simple harmonic motion. So when air resistance comes, that is called damping. So we can write damping force also there. So this is the condition for damped harmonic motion. F is equal to minus kx. This condition is arised from that spring mass system when it is kept in a frictionless plane. We discussed in the last class. So F is equal to minus kx is the simple harmonic motion. If the body is oscillating with constant amplitude, that kind of oscillation is called a simple harmonic motion. So in simple harmonic motion, or a body oscillating with constant amplitude, when we introduce this air resistance, what happens? This amplitude begins to decrease. Okay, so this air resistance, which is represented as damping force, and this damping force opposes the motion. So we put a minus sign. So at equilibrium condition, the force acting on the spring, that is equal to minus kx minus damping force. This is the condition at equilibrium. Then damping force is proportional to velocity. Velocity we can represent it as dx by dt, and to change the proportionality symbol, we are multiplying it with a constant b into dx by dt, where b is the damping factor. Okay, damping factor. So we can rewrite the condition as F is equal to minus kx minus b into dx by dt. This is the condition for damped harmonic motion. So here we know that according to Newton's law, what's the expression for force? F is equal to ma. So we can rewrite F is equal to ma. So ma, that is equal to minus kx minus b into dx by dt, and acceleration is d square x by dt square, that is equal to minus kx minus b into dx by dt. Since acceleration is equal to, what is acceleration? Acceleration is change in velocity dv by dt, and we know velocity is equal to change in displacement, rate of change of displacement, dx by dt. So acceleration is equal to d by dt of this dx by dt. So it is d square x by dt square. Then all the terms in LHS. So d square x by dt square plus b into dx by dt plus kx equal to 0. Then dividing all the terms with m. So dividing by m, we get d square x by dt square plus b by m into dx by dt plus k by m into x equal to 0. Here we can make a substitution b by m. B is the damping factor dividing by the mass suspended. It is a constant. So we can rewrite the equation as d square x by dt square plus 2k into dx by dt plus k by m. K is the spring constant and m is the mass suspended. Omega 0 square x equal to 0. So this is the differential equation of damped harmonic motion. Okay. So from this equation we can reduce these two conditions. But from here we can state that x is continuously varying with respect to time. The motion depends on two constants, 2k and omega 0 square. This is a second order differential equation in terms of x. So we have to find out the solution of this differential equation. Okay. There are different methods to solve a differential equation. So here we get a second order differential equation for this damped harmonic motion. D square x by dt square is the second order term, dx by dt is the first order term, and x is the zeroth order term. So we have to find out the solution of this differential equation. So here we take the standard solution of second order differential equation equal to 0. There are different methods to solve a differential equation. Here we take the standard solution of a second order differential equation. The standard solution of second order differential equation is a e raised to alpha t. Second order differential equation, if it is equal to 0, the general solution, the form of general solution is like this: x equal to a e raised to alpha t, where a and alpha are unknown constants. Okay, so we have to find out the value of a and alpha from this given condition. Here the equation depends on two constants, 2k and omega 0. So based on that constants, we have to find out the value of a and alpha. So to get the value of a and alpha, we take the differential equation as equation 1 and the standard solution as equation 2. Be the solution. Solution of equation 1. From this x equal to a e raised to alpha t, we can find out the value of dx by dt and d square x by dt square. So by differentiating this equation 2 with respect to t, we get dx by dt. Dx by dt is equal to coefficient a into, by differentiating e raised to alpha t itself, then differentiate alpha t. So while differentiating alpha t with respect to t, it is alpha. So we can write a alpha e raised to alpha t. This is equation number 3. So we get the value of dx by dt. Then we have to find out the value of d square x by dt square. So to get the d square x by dt square, differentiate equation 3 with respect to t. By differentiating equation 3, we get d square x by dt square. That is equal to a alpha. It's a coefficient, so we can write a alpha. Then differentiating e raised to alpha t itself into alpha. So we can write a alpha square e raised to alpha t. This is equation number 4. So we get the value of d square x by dt square, dx by dt, and we know x as a e raised to alpha t. So put the value of this equation 2, 3 and 4 in equation 1. Next step is put 2, 3 and 4 in 1. We get a, while substituting the values, we get a alpha square e raised to alpha t plus 2k into dx by dt is a alpha e raised to alpha t plus omega 0 square into a e raised to alpha t, that is equal to 0. From this we can take the common terms outside. So in all the terms a e raised to alpha t is there. We can take a e raised to alpha t as the common term. So we get, in the first term we get alpha square. In second term we get 2k alpha plus in the third term omega 0 square, that is equal to 0. Here the product of two terms a e raised to alpha t into the second term equal to 0. What's the meaning of that equation? Either this first term is equal to 0 or the second term is equal to 0 or both the terms are equal to 0. But from equation 2, what's the value of x? A e raised to alpha t. So it has a value. It is equivalent to x. So we can write the second term is equal to 0. Therefore, alpha square plus 2k alpha plus omega 0 square equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation. Okay, so by solving this equation, we get the quadratic equation of alpha. So by solving the equation, we get the general solution of alpha. We know the solution of quadratic equation is minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac by 2e. Okay, so here what's the value of a? A is equal to 1. The coefficient of alpha square is 1. Alpha b is equal to, this is b, this is a, and this is c. Okay, so here we get a is equal to 1, b is equal to 2k, and c is equal to omega 0 square. So by solving the equation, we get alpha is equal to, what is alpha? Minus b, that is minus 2k plus or minus root of b square. B square is 4k square minus 4a. A is 1, omega c is omega 0 square. 4 omega 0 square by 2 into 1, 2. So we can cancel all the 2. So we get alpha. Alpha is equal to minus k plus or minus root of k square minus omega 0 square. So we get alpha. There are two values, that is alpha 1 minus k plus root of k square minus omega 0 square, and alpha 2 minus k minus root of k square minus omega 0 square. So we get the value of alpha. This is equation number 5. Okay. So to find the general solution of this differential equation, we take the standard solution as x equal to a e raised to alpha t, where a and alpha are two unknown constants. So we have to find out the value of this a and alpha based on this condition. So from the value of ax, we can find out the value of dx by dt and d square x by dt square. So by differentiating this equation 2, we get dx by dt as a alpha e raised to alpha t. That is a coefficient, e raised to alpha t is e raised to alpha t itself, into differentiating alpha t, we get alpha. So a alpha e raised to alpha t. Then differentiate this equation with respect to t again. So we get d square x by dt square. By differentiating this equation, a alpha is coefficient, then by differentiating e raised to alpha t, e raised to alpha t itself into differentiate alpha t, we get alpha. So a alpha square e raised to alpha t. This is equation number 4. So we get the value of d square x by dt square, dx by dt and dx. Put equation 2, 3 and 4, that is x dx by dt and d square x by dt square in equation 1. So by substituting the values, we get a alpha square e raised to alpha t plus 2k a alpha e raised to alpha t plus omega 0 square into a e raised to alpha t equal to 0. Then take a e raised to alpha t as the common term. So by taking a e raised to alpha t as common term, we get a e raised to alpha t into alpha square plus 2k alpha plus omega 0 square equal to 0. What's the meaning of that equation? Product of two term is equal to 0 means either the first term equal to 0 or the second term equal to 0 or both the terms are equal to 0. But first term is equal to x. So we can write alpha square plus 2k alpha plus omega 0 square equal to 0. It is a quadratic equation in terms of alpha. So from the standard solution of quadratic equation, that is minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. From this equation, we can find out the value of alpha. Here a is equal to 1, b is equal to 2k and c equal to omega 0 square. Substitute the values here. Minus b minus 2k plus or minus root of 4k square, b square, 4k square minus 4 into c, omega 0 square by 2. Take 2 as the common term. So we can cancel all the 2's in the numerator and denominator. So we get alpha equal to minus k plus or minus root of k square minus omega 0 square. Two values are there. So we split the equation into 2. That is alpha 1 as minus k plus root of k square minus omega 0 square. Alpha 2 as minus k minus root of k square minus omega 0 square. But here we take the standard solution as x equal to a e raised to alpha t. It is a single valued solution. But here we get two values for alpha, alpha 1 and alpha 2. So we have to modify the solution based on these two values of alpha. So the general solution, that is equation 2 changes to, we can modify equation 2 as, equation 2 changes to x equal to a1 e raised to alpha 1 into t plus a2 e raised to alpha 2 into t. This is the general solution of this equation. Since we get two values of alpha, alpha 1 and alpha 2, we modify the general solution x equal to a1 e raised to alpha 1 into t plus a2 e raised to alpha 2 into t. Now a1 and a2 are unknown constants. We don't know the value of a1 and a2. Then we have to find out the value of a1 and a2, two unknown constants. That is the next step. So we get x equal to a1 e raised to alpha 1 into t plus a2 e raised to alpha 2 into t. Since we get two values for alpha, we modify the solution as a1 e raised to alpha 1 into t plus a2 e raised to alpha 2 into t. We get alpha 1s minus k plus root of k square minus omega 0 square and alpha 2s minus k minus root of k square minus omega 0 square. So we put the values of alpha 1 and alpha 2 in equation 6. We get x equal to a1 e raised to minus k plus root of k square minus omega 0 square into t plus a2 e raised to minus k minus root of k square minus omega 0 square into t. So we get the general solution of this differential equation as this equation number 7. Here a1 and a2 are unknown constants. a1 and a2. We have to find out the value of a1 and a2. But here one problem is there. What is k and what is omega 0? We know this k. This term is associated with damping. So k is the damping frequency. Damping frequency. And omega 0. Omega 0 is the natural frequency. So based on the value of this damping frequency and natural frequency, this term, that is root of k square minus omega 0 square, this may get three different values. That is, if k greater than omega 0, what is this condition? Damping frequency is greater than the natural frequency. Damping frequency is greater. So we call that condition as over damping. Damping is high. So we called over damping. So under this condition, body move in a different manner. Then the second case. What is second case? Damping frequency equal to natural frequency. If k equal to omega 0, two frequencies becomes equal. Damping frequency is equivalent to natural frequency. In that condition, body moves in another way. that is called critical. Both are equal, so we call critical damping. And one more condition is there, it's that if k less than omega 0, if k less than omega 0, k less than omega 0 means damping frequency is less than the natural frequency. In that condition, body oscillate in different way. So we have to deduce the value of A1 and A2 for these three conditions separately. Because these three cases, when k is greater than omega 0, damping frequency is greater than natural frequency, body oscillate in one manner. If k equal to omega 0, it oscillate in another way. K less than omega 0, it oscillate in another way. So these three are three types of motion. For that three cases, we have to find out the value of A1 and A2. So we consider this is the general solution of damped harmonic motion. From the general solution of damped harmonic motion, we find out value of these unknown constants for these three special cases based on the frequency values. That is based on the value of root of k square minus omega 0 square.